Hello, Ridgeway Church. The December pillar is going to focus on anger management. The Bible says, be angry and sin not in Ephesians. First time I read that as a Christian, I scratched my head like, what does that mean? How do you get angry and sin not? Many people grow up with two gears of anger. Either I stuff it, or I blow up. So what does being angry and sin not look like? Well, let's go back to Fred and Wilma. Fred opens the refrigerator late at night to get some orange juice. He realizes, he looks at the jug, and at the bottom there's just like a half inch of orange juice, and he blows up in anger. He yells, Wilma! And Wilma comes downstairs from her bedroom with her bathrobe on, and they have a big old fight about orange juice. Now, this isn't the first. This is like orange juice fight 322. They constantly fight about the orange juice. Wilma, I tell you every day, fill up the orange juice before you go to bed. Sometimes you do, but most of the time you don't. How many times do we have to go over this? And Wilma just blows up at him, and it gets awful. They never resolve it. So I sit down with Fred, and I say, Fred, let's talk about the orange juice. Is it really about the orange juice? What's underneath the orange juice? And he goes, the bottom of the jug? No, I don't mean that. What's the deeper issue? And I tell Fred that anger is like the top of an iceberg on top of the waterline, but often there's deeper emotion and hurt that's feeding, that's sometimes not seen and sometimes not discussed. I said, what's underneath all your anger? I said, what does orange juice mean to you? And he scratches his head and goes, well, I guess growing up, I saw my mom always filling Dad's orange juice jug every night. And if it wasn't filled, she would run to the store. And if that was closed, she'd go across town. She would always do that. And I said, Fred, what did that mean to your dad? And what did it mean to you? When you saw that, it means that my mom respected him. So what does it mean to you if Wilma doesn't fill the orange juice jug? I guess it means I feel disrespected and dishonored. Okay. Have you ever talked about that with her? He goes, no. And then I sit down with Wilma. I said, Wilma, what's with the orange juice? What's underneath all the orange juice? And she goes, I don't know. I guess, whenever he blows up like that, it reminds me of my dad. My dad was a control freak, always controlling this and that. And you know what? I never thought of it, but when Fred acts like that with the oranges, he reminds me of my dad, and I just get off. So how do you feel when that happens? Same way I felt as a child, which is I feel controlled. So the deeper issue underneath your anger is you feel controlled. Have you ever talked to Fred about that? No. So let's maybe have a discussion talking about what's underneath the anger. So in December, we're going to talk about anger management. What are healthy ways and unhealthy ways that we can deal with anger in our relationships? I hope that you'll consider joining us for this event.